With a nice deep V and a dual prop, you can really turn this baby sharp. Look at this. That was awesome. It didn't miss. It didn't skip. I mean, I turned hard at 30 miles an hour. Let's hammer down again. Hey, what's up guys? It's me, Brian Johnson from Used Boats TV, and today I'm going to take you for a ride in this absolutely beautiful Cobalt 242 bow rider. This video is to take you for a ride with us once again on this beautiful 2009 Cobalt 242 bow rider. We're going to do an instructional demonstration today. So we're going to put the boat on the water. We're going to show you how to operate the buttons and switches, all to help enhance your boat ownership experience or shopping experience. Keep in mind I sell boats at Heartland Marine, so if you stop here, please ask for me. And then we're going to find a good comfortable cruise speed for water sports, cruise speed for cruising, and top speed, and talk about everything to do with learning about this boat in between there and there, and finish up some drone footage. So let's go ahead and put it in the water and get started. But first, I'd like to introduce our channel. I've been passionately selling boats for over 19 years. The purpose of this channel is to help you and your family enjoy boats and boating just as much as my family and I enjoy it. So thanks to the help of my staff here at Heartland Marine and my sons, we've been able to successfully upload hundreds of boat reviews, instructional operation, help, and how-to videos. I don't ask for anything in return, except for the opportunity to possibly help you find a boat when the time comes. So to stay up on everything we upload, click that subscribe button below and stay tuned. Nice. Now, once you have your beautiful Cobalt in the water, because it's got to be in the water to run, you come back here underneath the port side aft water sports storage compartment, pull it up. So in here we have a dual battery with a switch. We're going to turn that to all. The alternator is going to charge all the batteries when we're out here running. If we're going to stop, Cobalt, listen to the radio, we'll switch that to 2. Have fun, throw an anchor, relax. Now, once we're ready to go, if we hit the button and we get the old click, 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 we just switch the other battery, fire it up. Moments later, we'll switch it back to all. That way we're good to go. When we're done for the day, we're going to shut it off. But we got our battery on, so let's go to the helm. In order to not make this video an hour long, down in the description I'll include a bunch of links to some instructional videos to help improve your boat ownership experience when you're out there on the water or shopping for a boat for your family. Those links are going to include how boat insurance works, how marine financing works, how to dock boats, tie ropes, and a bunch of other cool stuff. So be sure to check that out. Now, this bad boy is powered by the 496 mag. That's 375 horsepower, and a boat this size is extremely impressive. But to start this specific one, we are in neutral. The kill switch is in the run position, so we're just going to turn the key. We hear a little beep, that means get out of the way. On this one, we can either turn the key or just hit the start button, and it's going to fire itself right up. One thing I always recommend before you take off is to shut your window. Eventually this window will begin to bow and flex against that side of the glass. We have our flip-up bolster, so we can set up nice and high, or we can sit down low. For this part of the video, we're going to talk about buttons and switches, how to operate them, and look at our gauges and tell you what they do. And then I'll take the camera from Bill and we'll drive the boat. So, we're in neutral. Right here is how you shift. You push in the button, that brings it into gear. The DTS, digital throttle shift, is extremely smooth. It's not a cable. Go back to neutral, push in our button, there's reverse. Now we have a throttle range beyond that. That makes it extremely easy to maneuver. I always tell people never dock it faster when you want to hit something. Just go in gear and out of gear. Steer when you're out of gear so you don't veer too much. So we'll steer in neutral, let go of the wheel, and we'll immediately start to turn. In retrospect, if we're in forward and we start turning, we're going to come around to the point. So when you're docking it, just stay calm and clear. That's how we shift. Right here is our trim button. That brings the outdrive up or down. Once again, back to the videos in the description. I'll include a link that explains how to operate and tilt and trim. I strongly suggest you look at that. You also have a gauge right here on the extreme starboard side of the helm, and it works just great. See it going up, see it going down. We are very low on fuel in this bad gal. We'll talk more about tilt and trim as you drive it. So right here we have our depth finder. That reads how deep the water is. We have our oil pressure, engine temp, tachometer, speedometer, tells us our speed. bolts, fuel, very low, trim gauge, bilge pump. This is automatic. I can hear it running, but, oh, that's the blower, Brandon. That ventilates the engine compartment. Coast Guard captain to tell you to run that anytime you're at idle speed. I say just run it after you get gas. Bilge pump's automatic, you'll never use it. Interior lights are right here. Now you can buy bulbs for this specific model at O'Reilly's that are LED that just take the place of those. Docking lights are the headlights up front. We'll check those out. Accessory, God knows, sometimes at nighttime it turns on something funky. Horns right here. Right here is our navigation lights. That's the red and green, and the white light that we'll check out later that plugs in the back. In the middle's off, all the way down, anchor light stopped at night. Accessory, this is a dimmer. So if we have our navigation lights on, our gauges light up. And we can actually dim that down nice and low so it doesn't bother us so much. Right here we have a stereo remote control. The stereo is conveniently located in here. We can plug our phone into it. We don't get any kind of radio reception at the Lake of the Ozarks. So that's where that is. Right here's the remote control to bring it up or down. Now that we understand what our buttons and switches do, I'm gonna go ahead and take the camera from Mr. Bill here, and I'm gonna drive the boat. Throw it at me, Bill. All right. In the words of Matthew McConaughey, we are at a dead stop. There's another Cobalt day. Putting the hat on backwards. So we have tilt steering. We can set this wherever we want it right here. So the purpose of what we're gonna do now is we're gonna find our water sports speed range. So we're gonna see how this boat should be operated, captain, for water sports. Then we're gonna find our comfortable cruise speed. They're gonna see what our top speed is for our boat test with a 496 mag in a 242 Cobalt bow rider. Remember, when I accelerate hard, once we're gonna find that top speed, I'm gonna run it trimmed down. For anyone out there that's test driving a boat, you should always run it extremely hard trimmed down. That's where you're gonna put the hardest load on the boat. That's when you know if it's gonna spit, miss, hit, sputter, backfire, fall on its face, not at idle speed. So once we know that it runs strong trimmed down, then we're gonna trim it back up and really see what our top speed is. And in this bad boy, I think our top speed is gonna be pretty bad to the A. Apples, bad to the apples, shifting forward. So for water sports, say we got a little kid back there, we just want to get the slack out of the line. Once the slack is out of the line, with a 496, this bad boy accelerates strong. So we're just going to pop him up. As soon as we pop him up, the boat's so powerful, I want you to go ahead, bring it back down. You want to try to pop him up to about 2,500 RPM on this boat, and this is a nice water sports speed. So whether you're tubing, skiing, kneeboarding, wakeboarding, or slalom skiing, this is ideal right here. See, we have a nice shape to the wake. So that's very, very comfortable right there. So now, that's what we do for water sports. Right here, we're, it's still a little faster yet. I mean, this bad boy is so powered. Look how our speed is. Our tachometer is less than our speed. But now let's find a good cruise speed. So how I do this is I'm just gonna drive it and I'm gonna tell you what's comfortable. You can always tell what's comfortable by the way the boat feels in the water while underway. Hitting some waves here. Okay, so about right here feels pretty good. Let's play with our trim, see if that gives any kind of difference. Oh yeah, that really feels good. So this boat likes to cruise at a whopping 40 miles an hour roughly, somewhere in the upper 30s at 3,400 RPM. That's extremely impressive. How do we know that this is a good cruise speed? Because the boat feels nice and smooth. If we're cruising too fast, it feels like you're putting your truck in four-wheel drive and running 90 down the interstate. It just doesn't feel good. This feels right. It's very comfortable in the boat. All right, so now we know what our comfortable cruise speed is right here. We can do this all day. Extremely efficient cruise speeds are under 3,500 RPM, so we can really even slow this down and still be going at a fast cruise speed. But we're gonna trim back down and see what our top speed is. Woo-hoo, baby! That's got a lot of punch. What do you think, Mr. Bill? Look at that rooster tail coming off that something up. Yeah! That's 50 miles an hour trimmed down. Now keep in mind, I've got a GPS speedometer, and I can't see that. I have to go by this gauge. You guys at home can see the GPS speedometer over in the corner. So trim down, and it is not missing a lick. It's running strong. Really grabs the water. Let's trim her up. 1, 2, 3, 4, clicks, 5. Holy shnikes, almost 55. Getting a little loose, I can feel it. So about a little over a quarter trim, and we're running about 55 miles an hour. Right through here is our top speed. Absolutely impressive. Like, I'm seriously shocked. This is such a deep V, sharp V bow rider, though with a big block in it, God almighty, it's awesome. Now, another thing I want to show you. Hold on tight, Mr. Bill. With a nice deep V and a dual prop, you can really turn this baby sharp. Look at this. That was awesome. It didn't miss. It didn't skip. I mean, I turned hard. Hit 30 miles an hour. Let's hammer down again. It's just so impressive. You can always tell a good hull design because when you accelerate, it feels like it grabs the water, not releases. I love this boat. So now that we kind of understand how to operate it for water sports, what a comfortable cruise speed is, you know, what our buttons and switches and gauges all do, we're gonna go back and put it on the trailer. And down in the description below tomorrow, I'll include like a video to a link where I do a walk around, where I show the boat real well. Remember, the purpose of this video is to show this boat out on the water because I've sold it sight unseen. But it's also to provide hopefully some education and value for anyone considering one of these boats, or you have one and the salesman sucked. It didn't show you how to work it. But we're gonna go put it up back on the trailer. Bill's gonna stand here and record. We're gonna take you with us. Let's have fun. Stable too. Look at this. Extremely stable. Steering's nice. This thing's a friggin' hot rod, dude. Going over rough waves, hit them dead on. Use the bottom of your boat to cut through them. We had no trouble there. Okay. I don't know what to say. I love this boat. So now that we're getting a little closer to put it back on the trailer, always remember at the point where you're getting kind of nervous, like knots in your stomach, to dock the boat into a slip or at a marina, a restaurant, or even on a trailer, go ahead and come back to neutral. Pretty much anywhere you're going to dock a boat, for the most part, it's going to be no wake. So no wake means idle speed forward, your definitive catch right here. I tell people just don't touch the wheel and the shifter at the same time. Take your time. So just go in gear, out of gear. Point the wheel where you want the boat to go. In gear, out of gear. If we hit the dock right now, we're not driving fast enough to really hurt anything. We're just going in gear, out of gear. Baby steps. I've got complete control of the boat right now. See, there's no rudder indicator, so we have no idea where the outdrive is actually pointed to. So by doing it this way, we have a good idea that my outdrive is going to push us that way. So I'm going to come back over here, put it in gear. See how now we're straightening back out? Put it back over here. Just take your time. Don't be nervous. Don't be a nervous Nelly. When I first started driving boats 20 years ago, I was boat driver in the world. It's not that I'm great now. But we're going to put this back on the trailer here. And we're going to finish this video up with some drone footage. Do me a favor, please subscribe to our channel here at Used Boats TV, and we'll see you on the water. Just probably tie my shoes. I forgot what year it is. I like this new microphone, but it's so bulky. Oh, that's because you're supposed to do it like this. Shit.
You look small.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
I mean, because of the camera.
Yeah, sure.
No, I mean,
You think I'm getting thinner? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
We're gonna see how to use this boat for water sports. I'm bleeding. So do me a favor, if you've never checked out one of our videos before, please consider.
Just a good old boy.